Hi, how are you doing? My name is Liz. I am a certified nurse midwife, and welcome back to the Edge of Conception, where here on this channel we talk about things regarding women's health, conception, fertility, postpartum pregnancy, but also not only from the evidence-based lens of medicine and obstetric care and gynecological care, as well as midwifery, because I am a midwife, but also from the lens of a psycho-spiritual, emotional lens as well. Because I personally believe that that is where the edge is. You are always at the edge of conception every single moment of the day, and if you don't harness that power and see the potential within yourself to act and move and change your behavior so that you can have the life you desire, then it's just the edge. You have to fall over, you have to trust yourself. And if you want more focus, punchy, I'm like buzzing every time I think about it, is if you're interested in working with me through the lens of that psycho-spiritual and emotional behavioral change and really getting into the behaviors as well as the patterns that we've created, then you definitely should click the link below to see Edge, which is in the description box, which is a full-blown experience. It's a 3-part experience where I walk you through and support you through all the things of Edge, which is villainhood, architecture, and activation. So you can find that link down below. But today in this video, I wanted to really highlight some key things when it comes to thinking about egg quality. I think that I would like to preface this to say that this is not for your medical consumption. This is not a medical informative video like that. I feel like there are plenty of great other providers, physicians, midwives, other practitioners who you can find good quality information, as well as your own healthcare provider. Please seek out your own healthcare provider, establish that rapport, establish proper care and management for not only yourself but also your future with a medical provider that you actually like. Find a midwife that you actually like. Find an OBGYN that you actually like. Find a nurse practitioner or physician associate that you actually like, and ask them the questions. And I always tell this to anyone who asks me how do I know if I like them or not? If you ask them a question and if they can honestly tell you, I don't know the answer to that, I'm going to want to research that, I'm going to get back to you on that, and or I'm going to refer you to someone, a specialist or another provider in the office or another provider in the city that has this information that actually does this very well. If they can't let go of their ego to actually give you proper care, then that's the whole answer you need. That's the entire answer you need. But let's talk about specifically egg quality and bringing in that psychosocial emotional component, and also adding what can you do about it, because a lot of the things that we can think about egg quality is it is what it is, which comes up to my first fact, right? You're born with the number of eggs you will have for your lifetime. That's it. You're not getting any more. You're not getting any less. Well, they do deplete as life goes on, but also caveat to this, they don't deplete just because you start your period. You actually lose eggs immediately when you're born, and they have just continuous losses before even your menstrual cycle is established. So that relationship is set in stone. You're born with the number of eggs that you have. So how do we think about this through the lens of what I really like to talk about, which is that higher self, metaphysical, confident, okay, we know that as truth. What can we do about it? Not worry about it. There's no need hearkening on things that we can't change. If that is a known fact, we are born with the number of eggs we got, then that's the known fact. We are born with the number of eggs we got. Wipe your hands clean of it. Don't meander and cycle through and try to make it more than it is. It's a fact. If understanding that fact is such a painful idea, especially depending on what stage you are within your fertility journey, I see you and I want to validate you with that experience. And I also want to further activate you with the knowledge that this is not your fault. This is not anyone's fault. We can't push blame, because a lot of our sadness and a lot of our like immediate emotion is to place blame on something. There's nothing to blame. It's just what is. You're born with the number of eggs you will have for your lifetime, and that's it. The second thing that I feel like is always the biggest elephant in the room, and I feel like I see this even sometimes when I speak to patients across the lifespan, is age. On average, what we know to be true is that we know that there is a decline in the quality of your eggs. Quality, not quantity, right? The quality of your eggs. We notice there's a decline after the age of 35. And we also notice that there's a sharper decline after the age of 40. That's what we know. So what does that mean for us? It means beyond just like plan accordingly. We can make masterful plans and they all go to the dumpster, or we can make masterful plans and they actually come into fruition, yet it didn't feel right. It doesn't like motivate us, right? Getting deeper within your body, within yourself, no matter what age you are listening to my voice right now, what is it that you intuitively feel? What is your gut telling you? What is your inside, your chest? Like, what happens whenever you hear that phrase? If you're 36, if you're 37, if you're 41, if you're 22, if you're 25, like, what is your gut telling you? And notice that rhythmic beat, right? I call it sometimes I say to my friends, like, this is like desperado. Like, this is when we're entering our desperado phase, right? And I want you to just notice that rhythmic hustle. It's probably louder or softer depending on like where you are and how you feel about your own fertility too, because I've met 40-year-olds who don't bat an eyelash about their fertility when they're with me. Yet, I've met 24-year-olds who are freaking out, just completely freaking out. So what is that own rhythm? Become aware of your own rhythm and become aware of that own, how you relate to that factual truth, that medical truth, that known logical truth of 35, decline, 40, decline. What does that mean to you? How does that even when you watch my hand do it, like what are you getting out of it? Like, what are you sensing? Become aware of those emotions. Become aware of that feeling. Even if you're not able to describe like, oh, I'm feeling rushed, or I'm feeling hurt, sadness, or I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling excited, I'm feeling prepared, whatever the emotion is, even if you can't name it, notice it. Where is it in your body? How does it make you feel? How does that feeling make you feel, right? Add a second layer, add some removal, some space to it, and become so normalized to all of the emotions, because it could be more than one. It could be a multitude of emotions, right? And also, this is a great time to start journaling. Bring out your journal, flip through the page, and ask yourself, what are the thoughts? What are the thoughts that are flying out of my mind right now? Like, what am I saying to myself? What are the things that are on repeat? Is it on repeat, or is it a part-time thing? Is this a core belief, or is this just like a momentarily, like when I'm thinking about my fertility, or when I'm thinking about, my future conception, or when I'm thinking about my pregnancy, or I'm thinking about planning my family, right? This is like the only time that I think about these things. But otherwise, I don't think about these things. What are the things? Write them down and bring awareness to it. Because it's just one of those things that, your age being such an important factor, Yeah, most people will tell you that's true. Most people will tell you that's true. I don't want you to latch on and not move, because that's what I feel like happens a lot. We latch on to the factual truths and we lose all connection with how it actually resonates with us and how it actually makes us feel, right? As I said, I've had 22-year-olds crying in my office about this particular comment, and I'm initially perplexed because I'm like, am I missing something in the history about this? Like, do you have a family history? No. It's just something that we as a society, we as a culture, and we know as our biology is like infused in us, that it expresses itself at some of the most random times, or all the time, or at the appropriate times. It just expresses itself. Become aware of how it expresses within you and give yourself the time to acknowledge the facts, but do not tighten your grip and become unshakable to the idea like, well, this is just the facts of the life and I'm not in those facts and da, da, da. Notice it. You may not even need to accept this as a fact. Notice the fact and then fall back within. The reason why you see me like flipping on the side or looking on the side is I'm reading my notes. The third thing that I wanted to really like round off, and I'm gonna kind of make this a 2-pointer topic, is how much your mitochondrial health is at the forefront of your egg quality. What do I mean by mitochondrial health? Your eggs are infused is probably not the right word, are embedded with mitochondrial rich cells all throughout the process and all within their actual structure of the cells. And the mitochondria, very basic and remembering our biology, is the powerhouse of the cell. If this is a dominant type of force, dominant powerhouse within your eggs, the mitochondrial health is a huge determining factor to egg quality. Some people believe that your mitochondrial health can't be changed, blah, 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 but we know, especially through a lens of functional medicine and a little bit now transitioning into conventional medicine, we know that the mitochondrial health of all of your cells, all throughout your body, right? Because every cell has a mitochondria, remember? Or most cells, have a mitochondria. Can be altered and can be potentially influenced by the environmental factors that you live in, by the behaviors that you elicit, and also genetically, yes. But a lot of it could also be like your actual physical environment, your actual like behaviors, smoking, drinking. Do you live in a polluted area? Do you not live in a polluted area? And even like small things like sunlight and things like that, your circadian rhythm, your hormones, and all of these things, is a multifactorial approach to your mitochondrial health. And so you don't want to become, I think this is an opportunity to become aware and open and do more research for yourself of what mitochondrial health is and how you can actually use it to your advantage to further adapt and practice epigenetics, which is turning on and off cells depending on your environment and your patterns and your behavior, to allow for yourself to support your egg quality. Okay? And I think also the final thing I would leave this off as is this is just a starting point. As you continue watching more videos and you get a greater understanding of what it means to you and how you feel and how it makes you feel and things like that, you'll create your own protocol. You'll create your own basis. This is just an opportunity to include with that research, because I am, like many of y'all, a research head. I love comparing, I love contrasting, I love looking at the facts and figures. I kind of care about how it feels. I kind of don't. But I love like getting into the inner workings of it. Like, what is the makeup? Yet, I am adaptable and flexible to understand that, one, that might not be you, and two, that everyone has their own expressive experience. So being able to allow you all, and you specifically, to adapt this to the way that works for you. And really, really, really highlighting the importance of your emotional, psychological, mental, and spiritual health in this whole endeavor. 4 parts, people. Your mental, and really 5 parts. 5 parts. Your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. 4. These parts are so impactful and so imperative to the process of how you actually go through conception, and especially preconception, which is like the true essence in which I'm talking to you about, preconception. Because it's not just, yes, it can be just have a baby, get pregnant. Great. But if you resonate with anything that I said through this whole video, you know it's not as simple as, or not as surface level as, have a baby and get pregnant. You know that literally when the concept of having a baby was conceptualized in your brain, there are things shifting within you. There's energy shifts, there's physical shifts, there's mental blocks that are opening and closing. There are emotional things that are coming up and collapsing. There are shifts every time you entertain this conversation, every time you entertain this goal. If it's an actual realistic goal that you want to get pregnant in the next year, you want to get pregnant in the next month, you don't want to get pregnant in the next 3 years, anytime you entertain this, you're opening and closing this powerful door of your emotional, spiritual, psychological, physical health, and your rapport with yourself. Be aware, be conscious. That is the beauty of starting off with just even eggs. What are the facts we know about our eggs? Become aware of it and notice and allow. You don't need to accept anything I just told you. You need to notice it and understand that from a medical evidence-based support outlook, this is factually true. Now, with the information we have now, this is factually true. Does not mean you need to accept it as your truth, and does not mean it needs to be the only truth you have. We need to have somewhere in the middle. Your understanding, your perspective, your reality, your beliefs, your behaviors, as well as the evidence-based truth, the reasoning, logic, and coming together to allow a proper, structured, truthful pathway forward that is evidence-based for you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you can find the other 2 videos or the other library videos on the channel. And I would love for you to subscribe and share and comment down below. I would love to see your comments if you would like me to speak about a particular topic through this lens. And as I said before, you can find Edge linked down below in the description box if you're interested in that experience, that total, complete, yummy experience. Oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.